There are many Papua New Guineans who have turned 18. Now, all you know, reduced them name long common roll yet, or electoral roll yet. Now, this is an issue now because they are eligible under the constitution belong custom vote belong. Now, when those people are not in the common roll, then we've got an issue. Can the minister talk to the house, now people of Papua New Guinea, long you got updated common roll now belong. Running election in 2027 or not? And there's been so much talk about electronic or biometric voting system. But whether Papua New Guinea now you got some system finished, by using this long 2027 election or not? So it's not why na email talk na you got plenty of money Bellevue stop.
We have undertaken a project where, together with the company that we are talking to, or the technology company that we are talking to, we'll work with our NID, our PNG Civil and Identity Registry, using NID as the form of development of the electoral roll. In other words, the electoral roll will be a byproduct of the NID card system. Booth set up during that workshop, which will demonstrate this technology, and we would like to encourage invitations will be sent out to all members of parliament and also independent individuals and organizations to come and participate in that workshop and provide criticisms and provide feedback to ensure that we are going in the right path.
The NID program, I understand, has only reached about no more than 10% of the country's population. And it is safe to say that it is a failed project.
It has to be specific. Who misused the money? What money misusing money, or some leader money misusing money?
You can't put a point of order on a point of order. Let me make...
Which he is funded for, that he is supposed to roll out, which he is miserably failing. How can this minister tell these members of parliament to invest in his department?
Honorable.
I just want to remind the minister that he's in the role of that ministry, and that ministry is funded.
It is not correct. It is not correct for the minister to say that the only MP who has partnered with his department and him. It is on record that most of these DDAs and provincial government have partnered, including ECP for Nordfly. I've put 700,000, and as of today, the Nordfly people sit in queue. They are waiting for almost 2 years or 3 years now to get. So,
the Honorable Governor for Jiwaka.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Question from me without notice. I'll ask you long through the chair. I will the Minister for Administrative Services. Thank you. And short last question, that's all. But me by making a little statement now. They're asking question. Toro mila talk along common roll or electoral roll below Yimilo Papua New Guinea. The last term parliament, like this term parliament, during those last or close to 10 years now, there are many Papua New Guineans who have turned 18. Now, all you know, reduced them name long common roll yet, or electoral roll yet. Like we got plenty of the population start pins. Now, this is an issue now because they are eligible under the constitution belong custom vote belong or time belong general election or council election too. Now, when those people are not in the common roll, then we've got an issue. The issue belong election related problem in Misa, you got big problem long throughout the country in Misa finish. So these are caused by those very young generation. They're coming on to adulthood and moving on from here. So question from me without notice, through you, Chair, M. Long. Can the minister talk to the house, now people of Papua New Guinea? Long you got updated common roll now belong. Running election in 2027 or not? Question one. Number two question to you, Mr. Speaker. There's been so much talk about electronic or biometric voting system. This thing has been discussed so many times, so me like asking Minister, through you, Chair, whether Papua New Guinea now you make a similar system finished by using this long 2027 election or not. So it's not why na imi talk to it na you got plenty money stop. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, Administrative Services.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, and let me also take the cue from the other members and take this opportunity to congratulate our newly elected MPs into Parliament. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I would like to thank the good governor from Jiwaka for his very important question. And on that note, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Prime Minister for appointing me in this particular ministry to take the lead in looking at the election reforms, particularly on the back of the report that was produced by the Special Parliamentary Committee on the 2022 National General Elections. And in the recommendations that were put forward by the committee, one of the important areas that was identified by the committee was the electoral roll. In fact, the electoral roll in the national general elections in 2022 was inconsistent with the previous years, where it was identified that about 50% of our population were not captured in the electoral roll. And as a result of that, the Prime Minister gave me a task to have a look at the electoral reforms leading up to the 2027 national general elections, and two particular areas that we have covered in the last 18 months with quite a lot of visits around to our neighboring countries who have conducted elections using both electronic and using biometric as a method that has delivered elections in their countries. And I want to assure the good governor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to assure the House this afternoon that my ministry, together with PNG Electoral Commission, will be conducting a workshop on the 13th of October to the 15th of October that will outline the work that needs to be done in preparation for the 27 national general elections. And part of that workshop will outline to the stakeholders on the migration from paper voting to electronic and biometric voting that will transform the election environment in Papua New Guinea. And to ensure that biometrics is a method that we use, it will also require us to look at our electoral roll as well. We have undertaken a project where, together with the company that we are talking to, or the technology company that we are talking to, we'll work with our NID, our PNG Civil and Identity Registry, using NID as the form of development of the electoral roll. In other words, the electoral roll will be a byproduct of the NID card system. And we are looking at that now, and that will help greatly improve. So the company that we are talking to look at the electoral roll plus the reforms in the election have delivered 36 successful elections in 36 countries around the world using biometric and technology voting. So I would like to assure the House and assure the good governor that come 2027, when we synergize NID as the point of the electoral roll, it will greatly enhance and also bring credibility to the electoral roll. So we'd like to encourage all Papua New Guineans around the country that NID is an important part of this pathway, and we want to make sure that everybody is registered come 2027. The company that will assist us starting next year, they have done similar exercises around the world in lead up to elections, and part of that included that when they did these exercises, some areas very similar to Papua New Guineans population were able to register all people on the electoral roll within 74 days as the quickest time frame. So we are confident that by making sure that we deliver the outcome of the elections and make it credible, these are some of the work that will be undertaken. So the workshop will also, there will be booths set up during that workshop which will demonstrate this technology, and we would like to encourage invitations will be sent out to all members of parliament and also independent individuals and organizations to come and participate in that workshop and provide criticisms and provide feedback to ensure that we are going in the right path. To assure the Governor, Prime Minister has given me the task to ensure that we look at biometric and electronic voting come 2027. Whether we pilot it in certain provinces or whether we roll it out in the entire country, that's a decision for the government to make leading up to the national general elections in 2027. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
We have a supplementary member for hearing.
Thank you, Acting Speaker, for the opportunity to ask this very important supplementary question to the good Minister for Administrative Services. Acting Speaker, through the reply by the good Minister, he makes specific reference to the NID program in response to the question raised by the Governor for Jiwaka. The NID program, I understand, has only reached about no more than 10% of the country's population. And it is safe to say that it is a failed project, failed program, and so it baffles me, Mr. Speaker, as to how the good Minister intends to migrate that little 10% to a biometric dream of voting in 2027. Because this is a failed project, does the good Minister agree that his mandate given by the good Prime Minister to discharge this very important work in his mandate has failed, and therefore he too has failed this country? And can you also assure the people of Papua New Guinea that this company he refers to roll out this NID or this biometric dream is not an Indian company, and that it has been put through the NPC program already and tendered before he makes a disclosure of such a company on the floor of Parliament before the people of Papua New Guinea? And because he has failed, can he also just tender his resignation to the Prime Minister and allow one of these more competent backbenchers to take up this role? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, and I'd like to thank the good member for hearing query for his important line of question. Of course, whether I remain as a minister or not, that's the prerogative of the Prime Minister and not his instructions to issue to the Prime Minister to do that. Secondly, the question, the fact that it's a failed project is not a failed project. When NID was established in 2014, it was created out of political convenience, if I may say this. And they had created an agency that operated outside of the Constitution because of that political convenience. And then as a result of that, we had two agencies running parallel, duplicating the exact same work. You had PNG Civil and Identity Registry, and then you had NID. So when I became a minister, I had to correct those issues and flaws that was created by the former government and bring it in line so that it works within the Constitution. So we have now brought NID and packed it under PNG Civil and Identity Registry, which now operates as a program or a project rather than as an agency. And now we only have one acting civil registrar rather than having two in the past, which was outside of the Constitution. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the government in the past had not fund, apart from the 300 million kina that was given in the past that was misused by that former government. And we are now correcting those issues that were created.
We have a point of order ahead from the member for Yalibu Pangia.
May Amamas rules and Minister addressing this very important issue. Me like be constructive, you know. That's like serious issue law, country law. Electing all leader on man-mary masikat believe land. Now, the minister alluding to the fact that, you know, some funds were misused by the former government is quite incorrect. He has to be specific. Who misused the money? What money misusing money or some leader money misusing money? That's like all Totok must come up straight. Don't politicize this very important issue.
Yeah.
Now some law this la man who's managing all this la program now stop want them government blow you now.
I am now.
So no can suit him and nothing logo the man. So Mr. Speaker, admit your failures. Admit your failures so that you can correct yourself in doing the right thing for once, Mr. Speaker. Can all computer, can all something you work low, and not close to you. It no come up, working no come up. You na Prime Minister you working plan the promise to master this country. Get man close to. And that you to you investigate for 6 years. Do it.
Honorable.
Get man to us. Pray close to. Get him man close to. Enough.
Honorable member for Yalibu Pangia. Honorable Minister, you can't put a point of order on a point of order. Let me make a ruling on the member's point of order. Honorable Minister, resume your seat. Honorable member for Yalibu Pangia, your point of order was in order, but you seem to be debating the question, so I'll rule your point of order out of order. I'll allow the minister to.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I was just merely trying to put into context the fact that they said that I failed. I'm fixing their problems that they've created. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, just to reassure the good member for Irikoyari about the issues that he raised, over the last 3-4 years, the government has underfunded NID as an agency. For example, they had a staff ceiling of about 500, and the remuneration or the salaries that were incurred as a result of that recruitment of 500 set around 14 million kina per annum. And when they were getting paid only 10 million per annum, they had to decide whether they pay staff or they buy consumables to ensure that they deliver on the program. And this has been the dilemma for the last 3-4 years of NID. So when we came in, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we fixed that up very quickly by ensuring that they were funded correctly in the 2025 budget, which we are now correcting and fixing a lot of the legacy issues that were created in the past. So in saying that, I would like to give confidence to the House that we are working very hard to make sure that we deliver on the biometric voting system, which NID will support to bring credibility to the voter, which has been missing in the electoral roll in the past. So I need the support of members of Parliament to invest in this very important program if you believe in the credibility of the electoral roll in your electorate.
Honourable Minister, we have another point of order.
Tell members of Parliament to invest in a program he is in charge of, which he is funded for, that he is supposed to roll out, which he is miserably failing. How can this minister tell these members of Parliament to invest in his department?
Honourable,
you see money, you spend him right.
Honourable member, seems to be debating the minister. We have 3 more minutes. You can sum up your.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. We are working tirelessly, Mr. Deputy Speaker, to make sure that we deliver a credible elections in 2027. And it is in his interest when I say that we need support and investment from members of Parliament, is because if we purchase registration kits, eventually we will hand those registration kits to the world recorders to keep so that they continue to update the communities and people within their districts. This is called partnership, if he does not understand what partnership means. Working together to achieve a common objective and a common goal.
Honourable Minister, we have another point of order. Honourable Member for Wabe.
Deputy Speaker, I just want to remind the Minister that he's in the role of that ministry, and that ministry is funded. And when the job was given to him, and when statements were made earlier this year, there was no sort of clause, or there was no stipulations as to a partnership arrangement with districts, how much money we were supposed to put in. In the previous program, we were asked to actually put in some money, and some of our districts, we put in a substantial amount of funding into that program. And for WABEC, for example, there was about 37,000 NID registrations done, and to date we are still waiting for the cards to be printed. So instead of just making big, glorious statements on this floor, can the minister, detail out the partnership arrangement that we're supposed to do, and how much money you were given, and how much money the government that you are part of has put aside for the districts to actually put in this partnership arrangement that you are making inferences to. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member for WABEC, your point of order is in order, but you seem to be using this point of order to raise series of questions. So I'll allow the Minister to respond as you have raised. Minister.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I thank the good member for WABEC for, I'll consider that as a supplementary question, is that this arrangement is not a new arrangement. It's an arrangement that has been in existence since the start of NID, where they've partnered with different provinces and different districts to roll out within their districts. So we've done the similar thing, and I think I'd like to thank the good member for Meniamia for undertaking that. Since I became the minister, he's the only MP that has responded to this partnership to deliver NID in his district. And so far, since he's given us his undertaking.
Honourable Minister, we have another point of order. Deputy Opposition Leader.
Thank you. It is not correct. It is not correct for the minister to say that the only MP who has partnered with his department and him. It is on record that most of the DDAs and provincial government have partnered, including ECP. For Northfly, I've put 700,000, and as of today, the Northfly people sit in queue. They are waiting for almost 2 years or 3 years now to get. So it's incorrect. So can he withdraw that only one member? No, all of us partnered. He failed miserably. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Northfly MP is referring to is the funding that he gave before I was a minister. But all I said was that I want to thank the member for Meniamia for partnering with me since I became the minister to deliver on his. And we've delivered so far, I think, about 15,000 cards and birth certificates to his people. But I want to assure the member for Northfly that the information that he has requested in the last Parliament sitting that he asked, I have provided all that information to him. He provided 500,000 and not 700,000 kina as is alluded to. And from that 500,000, 200,000 kina has been used, and we've delivered on those cards, and his people have collected them. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.